On today's episode of Can the Windsor Spitfires Score on the Power Play?
Oh no. Oh my god! Nice power play, guys!
No. Thanks for watching today's episode of Can the Windsor Spitfires Score on the Power Play? Alright, look, that was just in reference to Game 2. I wasn't even gonna make this video. This series could have gone either way. In my quest to go to every OHL arena, I actually went to Game 2 and I saw the Flow Hockey free stream of Game 1. Game 1, hysterical. An overtime barn burner coming down to the world's most questionable offside call with even more questionable video quality used to determine the call. Game 2, the best OHL game I've ever been to, hands down. Constant chances abound for both sides. That old odd was shaking to its core for 3 hours straight. Windsor scores, Kitchener answers. Both goalies playing absolutely ridiculous. Constant chances over and over and over again for either side. Jack Pridham's shorthanded goal thanks to a Windsor cough-up would see this game ending, but a 2-1 scoreline does not do justice to how entertaining this was and how many chances there were. I was honestly surprised the Spitfires left Kitchener at 2 down in the series. Even then, they didn't choke either game. They just lost 2 hard-fought games. It felt like the Leafs against Tampa in 2022. I was telling my friend JP how shocked I was that Windsor didn't take one of these games as we left the arena. And in Game 3, they showed exactly why. Once they got back to the WFCU Center, they pummeled the Rangers on home ice, jumping out to a 2-0 lead in the first period and literally never looking back. Finally, we're getting it. The Windsor Spitfires are showing who they truly are. They're showing who they were when they beat Flint in the second round. The barn burner of a series the OHL playoffs desperately needed is here. In an entire playoffs that has been basically sweeps or gentlemen's sweeps, it was nice to see some fucking action here. That's what we wanted. We wanted the series to go the distance. We wanted a Game 7 in Kitchener. All we needed was for Windsor to take Game 4, setting up a pivotal Game 5 in Kitchener on Friday night and getting us one step closer to that reality. So what did they do? They lost that Game 4. And it's not that they lost, it's how they did it. In the most crucial game of the series, Windsor took the piss and went down 4-0 within the first 40 minutes. You just can't come back from that. And they never got the deficit lower than 2. They made a run at it. At least they got goals. That's more than the Leafs would do. But now the series landscape had changed entirely. The Spitfires were about to lose to the Rangers. Again, and this video doesn't get made if you lose to any other team. In 2023, this team had a Shane Wright that was absolutely unstoppable and lost to the 8th-seeded Rangers in a sweep. In 2025, this team blew a 3-0 series lead and got reverse swept to what was basically the same Rangers team as this year. Liam Greentree looks like a fucking stud, and Joey Costanzo's insane, but for the love of God, don't make it 3 straight series losses to the Kitchener Rangers in horrifying fashion. For fuck's sake, if you lost to anyone else, this would have been fine. Game 5, Friday night. Kitchener Memorial Auditorium. Do or die. And it surely looked like it wasn't going to be die at the start. First period starts. Bam, bam, bam. 3 goals on the board. All you've got to do is hang on and you'll take this back to the Windsor for the chance at the ultimate redemption. A chance to force a Game 7 back at the odd. But then, a familiar voice calls in the distance. Who is it? Ah, yes. It's the 2017 Edmonton Oilers. Come. Join us. Blow a 3-goal lead in horrific fashion against your greatest adversary in a do-or-die Game 5. Be remembered once again as the meme of all memes. And Windsor once again took that call literally. It's not the fact that you lost this game that's a problem. It's the fact that you were up 3-0 and you still found a way to manage to lose. An encore performance of last year's playoff run, blowing a 3-0 lead to the Rangers right down to a Luke Ellenis goal to help end it off. Except this time it was in a game and not a series. Dylan Edwards makes them their bitch in return. You know how the saying goes, the Windsor Spitfires choke again. It could be them setting up a potential rematch of the 2022 OHL Finals. An absolute fucking barn burner. Look, I loved watching the Spitfires against the Rangers in Game 2. That was outstanding junior hockey, unlike anything I'd ever seen before, and it's a shame that one of these teams had to lose. But the problem is this was supposed to be a series that came down to the wire, and while I had the Rangers as slight favorites, I went into this thinking it could have gone either way. I was still saying that after Game 2, and you showed that in Game 3, but what was Game 4 and 5? What the hell happened here? How'd you get off to such a bad start in Game 4? How'd you chuck a 3-goal lead again in Game 5? How'd you lose to the Rangers again? Is this some Shane Wright curse applied to your franchise? This is the point where you might expect me to say, oh, is there some kind of rebuild here? But this isn't the NHL. This is junior hockey. Let's back it up a little bit. I want the Spitfires to run this back with whoever's left. Windsor, your time's gonna come. Even if Liam Greentree and Joey Costanzo might be gone after the year, a ton of the team were rookies over the last 2 years, and the future for this team, I think, is still very bright. I mean, the Rangers are going to suck next year, and London's still rebuilding, so here's the West being yours to take. I mean, the Rangers showed us what happens when you don't have to play London in the playoffs, finally. Here's hoping you take that chance and you don't have to play the Rangers again. Surely 3 series losses to the same team is enough, right, guys?
A man out here for Edwards. Edwards, a shot! You brought the Gretzky Trophy to Kitchener for the first time since 2008!